Phil Iverson here in uptown Chicago. When buying a home, there are several considerations to think about, and among those are the tax consequences. Will the mortgage interest and real estate tax, will that lower your tax bill or give you a bigger refund? And in fact, I will answer that or outline a few things about that in just a moment. However, I have been at several meetings when people are, thinking about buying a property, and there's several considerations before you even think about how does this affect my tax bill. The first of which, I should just mention this, is, but the very first thing you might consider is, can we really afford this home? The last thing you would want to do, a person would want to do, would take, too much of their disposable income and every penny of disposable income and put it on a home. That means that every month, unless your income goes up, but every month you're going to have to make that monthly mortgage payment. And I know this is common sense, people are well aware of this, but this does come up. You don't want to be spending have to be worried about, can I afford this house? Get something that's within your budget. Of course, if if you think your income's going to go up, or if you've got a lot of money in the bank and it's not an issue, well, that's a little different. But again, I just make mention of that. The other top consideration I would think about is, how close is this property to my job? Is my job safe for all that matter? If you buy a home that's close to your job, like let's say 10 minutes, 15, 20, and the very next year you lose your job, and now you've got to go somewhere completely different, and it's way far away. That's a little bit of a consideration. Now, in Chicago, my uncle, this is many years ago, but Uncle Wilbur, he lived in Mundelein, and he would drive every day to work in downtown Chicago. Mundelein was very pretty, simple, very pleasant suburb. But in those days, there was hardly any traffic on those highways. For him, it was a pleasure ride almost. Maybe he'd be a little tired when he came home, but it wasn't that big of a deal. Nowadays, those highways are packed. Do you really want to spend an hour or an hour and 10, 15 minutes every day to and from work stuck in traffic? How close is the property to work? That's another item. Let's see. Now here's one, especially in today's times. How safe is the area that you're going to be living in? Now, it only makes sense to think about this, especially in these times. Now, Chicago's high crime rate city, but still some of the neighborhoods are better than others. Nowhere is completely safe nowadays. But do you have a family? Are there children? Is your wife, or for even you, are you going to be able to go to walk to the grocery store and back in peace? That's a consideration. I won't go into any further, than that. But I do mention this because sometimes we get people, they're from small towns like in Ohio or from way out in the suburbs. They've never been face to face with anything too challenging in the way of issues on the street. So, don't be surprised. Get something within your tolerance level. And there's plenty of good places here in Chicago. Now, the last item is about the tax bill. And I should mention this so it's simple to understand. As a single person is given approximately $12,000 standard deduction. This has changed in the last 5 or 6 years. It's actually a little more than that. Of a married couple, they get $24,000. So the question as to will this property, buying this property, will that help me on my tax bill? If you can beat the 12 or the 24,000, and again, that's not an exact number, but it's right around there. If you have more deductions, then you're welcome to fill out Schedule A, itemize your return, and in fact lower your tax bill. How this Schedule A, this itemized deduction works is it takes into account your real estate taxes, the taxes withheld from your W-2, your mortgage interest, and the other most common one are your charitable deductions. When you add all 3 of those together, if you have more than the standard deduction, in general, that's going to lower your tax bill. It does get a little tricky in Illinois, actually on the federal. All taxes combined, the state tax from your W-2 and your real estate taxes, it's capped at $10,000. So it is a little tricky, but that's everything put in a nutshell. If you liked the video, please give me a like. It does help the algorithm, and it helps other people find information like this. And but anyway, there's a little bit about buying a home.